We're continuing in Shar Nakudim Perek Beis. Omnam, Emasu de Kama Gugoltim Islay Deleslu Chushmana. Now it's true that there are many Gugoltim, which are skulls, that so many they don't even have a number, infinite amount. Kanizka Berisha Idra, just like is mentioned in the Zohar in the Idra. Va'keser shel Zerampin, Yia Parsa shel Ima Mafsik Elea. Now the Keser of Zerampin, the parsa of Ima is going to be stopping the Keser of Zerampin. It's going to be on top, or it's going to be the top of the Keser of Zerampin. And similarly with all the other partsufim. But Keser shekol atzilus hu nifsak ayidei hach parsa shel ze adam kadmon. However, the Keser of all of Atzilus is stopped by and is blocked by the parsa of this Adam Kadmon that we spoke about before, the parsa that was in his tabor. Omnam v'adai sh'ayidei staklus ha'or le'ila me'atabor, v'staklus ha'or le'ila me'atabor, haya maspik shia yecholis bolam atzilus lekabel or shlahem. Now when Adam Kadmon raised its or from his tabor and lifted it up above his tabor and made a parsa, so it would have been enough just to lift up the or, and there was no necessity for a parsa in order to limit the or enough for the for all matzilus to receive to be able to receive the or and not to be damaged. The one, as we're going to say also later on at the end of this shar, we're going to speak about how one of the biggest tikkunim that we're doing here is the tzimtzum of the or. We're creating kelim and allowing the kelim to go in the or, and the kelim must be mitzumtzum, must be limited. The or must be limited in order so that it should not be too much for the or for the kli to handle. This is one of the fundamental principles that throughout the whole binyan of Atzilus is, and even the tikkun of all the olamos, until Mashiach comes, until the future, is creating stronger kelim and minimizing the or so that the kelim can handle them. So it's a combination of strengthening the kelim and minimizing the or when necessary, in order that we shouldn't have what's called shvius kelim, which is what we're going to learn about much more in this parak. In this shar. So here, the parsa of Adam Kadmon enabled the world of Atzilus to be able to handle the or of Adam Kadmon. But it would not be enough to give also to Olam Habriya. That if there was only the aliyah of the or, if the or only went up from where the legs were above the tabor, and there was no parsa created in Adam Kadmon, then Atzilus would have no problem, and Atzilus would be able to handle this or. But Bria would be overpowered by this or, and it would damage Bria. Therefore, Therefore, the Adam Kadmon Hashem made another tzimtzum, another limitation or a limiting factor in the or that was coming to be mashpia down into the lower worlds, and that was the parsa. So not only did the or go above the legs to the top, above the tabor, which is the place where Adam Atzilus usually stands from the tabor and down, standing up against Adam Kadmon, and that would have been enough. Getting rid of the light that was in the area of the legs would have been enough for Atzilus to stand, but it would not be enough for Bria. Therefore, Hashem made a second tzimtzum, and the second tzimtzum, or the second limitation of the or, not really a tzimtzum necessarily, but it is in a sense, is it's a masach, it's a barrier, a boundary, is this parsa that was created exactly at this place, where the tabor is, where the top of Atzilus is. So it comes out that there are two things. Tzimtzum ha'or l'mala kadei sheyuchol Atzilus lekabel or shalom. One is the limitation of the or, the tzimtzum of the or that went above the parsa, in order that Atzilus should be able to handle the or. And there's another tzimtzum, or another limiting factor, or a boundary that was created in order for Bria. V'inyan parsa haya sheyochol gam Bria lekabel or. And the idea of the parsa is also to enable the Bria, the Olam Habriya, which is the Olam underneath Atzilus, to also be able to receive its or. And also we can understand how that there's also a parsa between Atzilus and Bria, and again to limit the or in order to allow the lower worlds to receive it. I'm not sure exactly which world needs this parsa. It could be the world of Yetzirah, or it could be for Bria itself. I'm not sure. Now, through the lifting of the light that was underneath the tabor of Adam Kadmon to above the tabor of Adam Kadmon, as nisrabe or gadol v'rav b'chetzi alyon shel haguf, then the light got strengthened. The light was very strong on the upper half of the body of Adam Kadmon. Ve'az na'aseh zeh ha'or b'bechinas Mayin Nukvin, and then this light became a bechina of Mayin Nukvin. The light that went up acted as the female waters, the arousal from below, that El Tamim Shosag, which went to Tamim Shosag and acted as the Mayin Nukvin for Tamim Shosag. Now, the idea of Mayin Nukvin and Mayin is that in general, in order for there to be a zivug, a yichud, a unity between two of the upper lights, there must be what's called Mayin Nukvin, like a female, a desire or uplifting from up to the female side, and this female side has a desire and will then be able to receive properly and to unite with the masculine side, with the zachar. So before every yichud, before every unity of zachar and nekeva, there must be a Mayin Nukvin. There must be a raising of lights. Usually it comes from a lower place, like from a lower world. It goes up to a higher place, a higher world, and that it goes into the female aspect of the higher world, and then the female aspect can unite with the zachar, with the male aspect, and to create a new shefa, to create new lights, new auras, and bring it down. Similar to a yuchud, a unity of a man and a woman who then create a new child into the world. Similar concepts. Okay, so this brought a Mayin Nukvin to the Tamim Shosag, which we're going to see is the Tamim Shosag, the internal Tamim Shosag. Before we spoke about the Ozen Chotem Peh, which is actually the Tamim Shosag coming out of Adam Kadmon. Now, this or that was lifted from underneath the tabor to above the tabor is being Mayin Nukvin, is acting as Mayin Nukvin to the Tamim Shosag, which is inside Adam Kadmon before it goes out. Shem Ozen Chotem Peh kanizkaleo ratzolomar ela shorashim apnimim shalem shem besoch haguf. The Tamim of Sag, the Or which is underneath the tabor, goes up and acts as Mayin Nukvin to the Tamim of Sag, which is inside Adam Kadmon, before it branched out and left to become Ozen Chotem Peh. Because we said the Tamim of Sag have three parts: the upper Tamim, the Tamim in the center of the Os, and the Tamim underneath the Os. And we're not talking about here the Mayin Nukvin to the or that came out of the Ozen Chotem Peh. Now through this Mayin Nukvin that goes up, Nizdav Gushem Av Kanal Vaz Nimsh Av Shabugolta Shazel Adam Kadmon Im Bechinas Hashag Shabo Shem Shoshim Shlozen Chotem Peh Shem Tam Kanal. Now through this Mayin Nukvin, which is the or that was underneath the tabor, which went up, it caused a yichud, a zivug of the shem of Av, which is in the skull of this Adam Kadmon that we're speaking about, and the Sag, the Tamim of Sag, really, that we're also speaking about inside Adam Kadmon, which are the roots of the Shirashim for the Ozen Chotem Peh, which came out. Shem Tamim Kanal. Ve'az nimshach or chadash milamala min hazivug, and then through this unity of Oros of Av and Oros of Tamim of Sag, there's a new light that came out, V'baka v'yard derech aparsa min hatob lamata, and it broke this new light. Shem Tamim now. V'az nimshach or chadash milamala min hazivug hazeh, v'baka v'yard derech aparsa min hatob v'lamata. Then it broke down Yeah, this new light broke down through the parsa and went underneath down to where next to where Olam Atzilus is, underneath the parsa. So again, the light from underneath the parsa went up and caused a unity between, a yizivuk between Oros of Av and Oros of Sag, which are the internal Oros of Adam Kadmon. And that in turn created a new birth of a light. This new Or broke through the parsa, which was created, and went through, made a hole in it, so to speak, and went through down to underneath the parsa to stand there next to Olam Atzilus, as we're going to see later, that it's going to actually be Meir directly to Olam Atzilus.